Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Confident Woman Leaders Show. I am so excited to have my next guest with me, where women go from chaos to confidence, stepping in, stepping up, and being the change that organizations need them to be. We believe that confident women leaders are changing the world. Today's guest is Karen Hoffman. Whoever lives in St. Louis, Missouri knows Karen Hoffman. She
Not
is
true. Not true.
Yes, it is true. I met Karen way back in 2015 when I stepped out of corporate America, and somebody says, "Oh, you need to know Karen Hoffman." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I absolutely fell in love with you out of the gate, Karen, as most people do. So Karen is the CEO of Gateway to Dreams in St. Louis, Missouri. I met her in 2015 and helping her get her Gateway to Dreams launched off, and she is an author. And as obviously the founder of Gateway to Dreams, her passion for strategic introduction and helping people own their gifts. And that is you. So welcome, Karen Hoffman. We're so happy you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we want to go into some questions and really talking about how you stepped into your confidence. And what would you like the audience to know about you?
When you say that, I'm like, I don't really think there's anything I care. I care more about them. What they
That's true.
But maybe that. I can't think about me, but that all of us have opportunities to really live our best life ever, and especially when we surround ourselves with a community of like-minded people. So
I love that.
I'm surrounded by amazing, strong women that have helped us take, Gateway to Dreams from a thought idea to something that we're actually launching a magazine right now. It's on the press.
Awesome. That's super exciting. Just even having the confidence to do what you do. So Karen, I know so much about you in your past, you're a barterer, there is nothing you can't do to find a solution for. You're a solution finder. There's something about that magnetic piece of you that is, like I said, it's very magnetic, and it's like people want more of that. And it is your confidence to make sure and do all these things for others. Where does that come from? Where does that confidence come from?
I know that, well, when you say the word confidence, I'm it's kind of like, well, there's areas I'm not confident, but there are areas in business that I believe are my strengths that I'm incredibly confident in, because like when you talked about possibilities, it's like, like there's 1,001 solutions. Excuse me, I'm trying to get the camera right. But there's 1,001 solution. Please, let's not limit ourselves like there's only one solution. So, I think that that's part of my confidence is I know, and it isn't something I was born with. I was born with wanting to help people solve problems. I can remember being this little kid, probably 10 years old, and a friend wanted to do something, and I'm like, we can figure this out. And I also remember I babysat when I was very, very young, like fourth and fifth grade. I was an old kid, like people trusted me. And, but I would just see somebody with a problem, and I would just want to help, So through the years, that has been something that I think my confidence is built on, that there's a solution to any problem. Now, I will say, when it comes to myself, not so much. There will be times when I can't figure it out, so I need community. But I think that's one of the things that I am really confident about, is there are so many ways we can come together and help one another.
Yeah, I love that. That's my passion too. And I think that's what's always aligned us together, Karen,
Yes.
is that heartfelt passion for the success of others. And I love that you're very much about positivity, but possibility thinker.
Yes.
That is your wheelhouse. There's no question.
I'm allergic to energy vampires.
Yes.
I am.
You're a magnet for them too, right? So you certainly were for. I thank you for that, because it was, obviously changes for me in my life. Next question for you: what's the biggest challenge you see women facing today?
I don't think it's just today, but I think aligning work-life balance and being present when you're with your family and being present when you're on the job. I just think that's an ongoing, decades, centuries old, is women still, no matter how wonderful men are about stepping up when they didn't maybe in the past, but it's still hard for women to balance work life And I think that it holds us back.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you think that they need to feel confident and feeling like they're not being held back?
I think everyone, male, female, that we need a community of support. We need mentors. We need coaches. It's not the Lone Ranger world. I believe confidence grows. I'm sorry, I have a brand new Chihuahua. Actually, two. I got two brothers, and one of them decided to walk into the room that is the room he's not supposed to be in right now, but he's going away. But is finding ways to align with others who see our giftedness, who see
Mm.
the strengths and hold the space when we don't feel it. I when I say I'm blessed, I have more women friends than I've ever had in my life, and guys too. Love the guys, but what we have become, instead of, I was bullied in high school, I don't have any of that in my life. I have women that go, I love, like we use, I love you. Like we use the words.
Yeah.
And that support, I believe, builds confidence within me and in them that we're safe. We try to be transparent. And I don't know if I answered that,
You did.
but I think I think all people need support, but women that are juggling a lot, I think they need someone to say you're doing a good job as a mom. I think they need someone to say, how can I help you with this work situation, or can I connect you to someone that can help you?
Yep. And I always love that about you, and about the people that have been very influential in my life. It's those connections, right? But I heard you say a couple things that are really important. It's really having those affirmations, being able to say, you know what, I love you just for who you are, right? Being lovable and being transparent. And it pulls people closer to you to build that safety so you feel like you're not on an island, which is where you found your confidence, is what I heard
Yes.
you say. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So the best advice you have for women when they're really fearful for speaking and asking for what they want, what would you say to them?
Well, I love the quote. I'm not going to say it correctly, but if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Mm.
Um, I have had to use that myself to ask for what I want, because I don't know if somebody's going to say yes or no, but I know that if I don't ask, it's my own no. I'm saying no to me.
Mm.
But when we ask, they're at choice. I do think that when we ask, we need to be cognizant of where the person is we're asking something from. If they have a lot of turmoil in their life, that may not be the best time to ask from someone else if it's something from someone. But most of the time, I think all you have to do, and I do this from the heart, and I believe it's kind of a God thing for me.
Mhm.
I feel like I get, you're supposed to call somebody, and it's like this person. In fact, Cynthia Carell.
Yep.
I just wrote her name down yesterday that I wanted to reach out to her. Haven't talked to her in, I don't, like, months and months. And don't you know it? Facebook Messenger, she sends me a message today. so,
Yeah.
so I think it's going ahead and knowing that it's okay if somebody says no. There will be, if that person can't help you, you might say, "Do you know someone else that I might talk to?" Like just. I was on a call this morning with Debbie Corey. She's a financial
Mhm.
CFO for hire, and she was talking about picking up the phone. She wanted to be in an anthology that Aaron Joy was doing, but she wasn't asked. She picked up the phone and called Aaron. Do you have room for one more?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
some of us would have said, well, if she didn't ask me, but no, we have to advocate for ourselves. If we
Yeah.
know what we want, ask someone. Erin could have said no, it's full, but not in Debbie's case. She said yes, yes.
Yes.
I love that story.
It's such a powerful place to be too, Karen, because if you can just step into the yes versus the fear of the no,
Right.
because fear is so paralyzing for people, and being able to step in the possibility of a yes, back to that possibility thinking and positivity thinking. If there's one person I've known in my last, 7, 8 years that asks, it's got to be you, Karen. And people will always, I've seen you take Gateway to Dreams with nothing in it and fill it with furniture. What? Overnight.
Yeah,
Overnight.
well, what's funny is a lot of those. Well, I did ask, but the things happened in such weird ways. Like, yeah, this law firm donated thousands and maybe I don't know, like thousands and thousands of really nice furniture. But it started with me reaching out to a woman I knew in office leasing and asking if she knew if any of the offices the tenants had left stuff behind. So she puts out an email to other leasing agents, and someone from Armstrong Teasdale, which they were just wanting to downsize a storage facility they had in a high rent district.
Yeah.
And they invited me in to come pick up furniture. So, part of it is just putting an ask out there and not assuming where it's going to come from. Like I certainly had no idea that a law firm would be calling me saying, come shop in our storage room.
I've said
I
that.
literally was like a little kid when she was saying, anything else? I go, like anything?
It was really pretty funny to me too. I was like, oh my gosh, where did you get? And this was not cracker box stuff. This was like
no.
heavy.
One bookcase was $10,000.
Yes.
The filing systems, which we don't really use so much anymore. Regular filing systems, but we use it for storage.
Yes.
It was. I think 14. Whatever. Yeah, this is not IKEA. Cool. IKEA's cool, but this wasn't IKEA stuff.
No, it was like, where did you get this from stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I love that. Going back to what you're saying, right, is never assume anything, is what I heard you say. And there's something about, strategic networking too, as far as, get to know people, introduce people. That's something that I do, but it always comes back to you, right? So it's this gift that keeps coming back. And that's what I've seen throughout my time that I've known you, Karen, is it just keeps coming back.
There is a circle that, and I, like I've had people lecture me about, you give away your time, no, it comes back tenfold. No, I'm not worried about that. Now, I don't like wasting my time. I'm not. Right. In fact, one of my girlfriends had a problem with me because I'm not a good tea drinker. I'm more about let's make stuff happen. But she got over it and she apologized and said tea is overrated. But I just think that I think one of the other things that I have been blessed with is I'm not a perfectionist, which means that I don't have a box that things have to look a certain way or be a certain way. And I don't mean that there's not parts of me that I do have perfectionism areas, but not when it comes to like the business. I would never have started Gateway if it needed to be perfect. I would have never started Gateway, for one thing, if I didn't have what I call the faith of a mustard seed. My husband and I are we were older. He had retired. We had the least amount of money we've ever had in our life, and I'm starting a nonprofit on less than a shoestring, on half a shoestring.
Right.
And immediately people are offering money and support, and it's just crazy, But I trusted the voice asking me.
Yes. I love that, trusting the voice and having faith. And I remember when we launched the Dream Team.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, right? And we had
people showed up in the room that are busy people.
Yeah, they were, and they were committed to your cause and really committed to your heart for what you were wanting to do. And I think out of that birthed this incredible, at least a launching pad, for where you are today. If you had to do it all over again, what would you tell yourself?
I don't know. I think maybe to be even more open. I was pretty open, I'm not a big worrier because I have this whole faith thing that everything will really be okay. I don't, that's a really great question, but I don't know that I have an answer. I do think there would have been maybe a little bit more, especially later on, not so much when we were developing the dream team,
Mm-hmm.
but owning things that I felt important instead of I have always had this desire for a team to be fully expressed with everyone being who they are and bringing that to the table. And sometimes their values aren't in alignment. And
Mm.
I was so eager in one particular instance, for sure, because of my great love for someone, that it was like, Karen, forget what you believe. Forget, like I literally kind of gave up pieces of me because I
Mm.
wanted the friendship more than the leadership.
Mm.
And so I wouldn't stand up on certain things that later proved that I'm through the Gallup organization. I love their strengths finder, and my number one strength is being strategic.
Right.
And I gave that up. I
Mm.
gave up a piece of me because I wanted to be this leader that was so inclusive. But I didn't think about values. And if, in fact, as we're talking, I'm thinking that values are underrated. Values are so underrated, that our personal values, we bring them with us everywhere we go.
Right. And that's really important. It's a great key segue to kind of end and wrap things around for us today is that you have to have a very clear purpose, values, and vision. And that's the lens that you look through to be able to continue to grow, whether it's your business and a nonprofit, maybe you're a new entrepreneur, maybe you're inside of an organization, right? Maybe you're a leader of an organization or even yourself, having that purpose, values, and vision is really clear that you stay true to that, right? Because, like you said, you don't want to give up pieces of yourself. And then how did you get those pieces back? What was the aha moment?
There was an explosion, and it got really messy and ugly.
Hmm.
And then it was back to the roots, and the people that were part. We all renewed how important the values of this
Hmm.
organization were. We
Hmm.
all, there were things, I'd never heard this term before, but uh, this person and I had a difference on how we treated our members. And there's a term called creating friction for them, making it harder for them to do business with us. And I knew in my heart that the things that I was being advised to do was creating friction. And I tried to advocate for my members, but I didn't have enough confidence in the relationship,
Mm.
my values. I didn't have enough confidence at that time to say, no, 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 no. Let's go to the board. Let's address. And I wasn't stepping. I think we flow in and out of leadership. I don't think that we have our leadership cap on all the time. I didn't have my leadership cap on.
Hmm.
I felt friendship was more important than leadership for the organization, and that was not fair to the organization. You said something, and I had made a note because of some of the things you were talking about for a woman, and you just hit on, when you know your strengths and your passion and your purpose, I believe that that helps you own your confidence. And I brought up StrengthsFinder, but there's other assessments that help us. StrengthsFinder was one for me when I read, some of my strengths based on StrengthsFinder. I knew I was creative. I thought I was strategic, but I didn't have that language in my head. And when you put that together, as you are developing your career, you tell people sometimes, not by your action, but by your words, who you are. And I would have never said strategic. Now I can actually own, yeah, I'm really strategic and I'm really creative. And
Yes.
when we own it,
Yeah.
other people buy it because it's truth. When we own the truth, we become more confident.
I love that. I love that. You have so many great pearls today. I can't thank you enough for sharing your heart with us today, Karen. Which I know that that's who you are. You're very much about that person and being truthful and transparent. And thank you for gifting, back the world today about what you think confidence journey really is. And it really is around owning what you want and being vocal, but also being confident with that purpose and your values.
Right.
So I thank you for today, Karen, and our friendship. And I love seeing what Gateway to Dreams has done in the last 6 years. And I'm so happy for
You're
you.
going to have to email me your address so you get a copy of the magazine, even if you're outside of St. Louis. We are sending copies to celebrities in California and New York. And why not celebrities like you in Springfield, Missouri?
That's great. I will send you my email. Well, thank you so much.
Mailing address. Snail mail.
Oh, mailing. Okay, mailing address.
Yeah,
great.
I'll take the copy.
I love it. It's an actual magazine. I love that.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for today and joining the Confident Women Leaders Show, where women go from chaos to confidence, stepping in and stepping up, being the change the world needs us to be.
And
thank you so much.
My magazine, Be the Change.
That's right.
Will there be a link I can share this?
Yes, I'll share that.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.